generation.
Yeah, it is like a
So
curse.
in forgiveness and forgetness, we forgiveness and forget. In this topic, we have to first, as I said, forgiveness we already discussed. Why should we forgive, and what is the way to forgive also we discussed, and also what is forgiveness first of all, right? Forgiveness is for us. Yes. So the forgiveness is basically letting go of that memory or whatever the impression that you have in your mind, in your three bodies. It's sitting there and it's creating a emotional havoc in your own mind, in your own emotional body, in your mental body, and the impression that is left in your intellect body. So that incident which is there sitting inside in your three bodies, and it's creating problems in your own day-to-day life because it's actually creating a havoc. Yes?
Yeah, I was thinking, well, if you're doing it primarily for yourself, it's not, but it doesn't seem to be, forgiveness doesn't seem to be a selfish act. But if you're doing it for yourself, it sounds like it's a selfish act. Does anybody get me there? Like, you know.
So, is it bad to be selfish?
But it's also unselfish.
Yeah. Is it bad to be selfish, want your own well-being? Is it bad?
Is it bad? Good question.
Yes. Is it bad to be looking out for your own well-being?
No, it is not.
So that's not selfish. It's your duty. In fact, that's what you have come here to learn, how to be, to live in a peaceful manner, in a happy manner, connect to your own nature, which is Satchitanand, and that is the truth about yourself as you being a spirit rather than this body and mind. You are not this body, you are not the mind, you are the spirit, you are the soul which is traveling from one body to the other, trying to have the experiences, learn how to get rid of all these negativities that we are holding on to, and to experience the not only the truth about yourself, but also the knowledge about yourself and the universe, as well as the bliss and happiness that is who you are. You are the love, you are the joy, you are the peace, you are the happiness, you are everything that is good. So all that is good, it's you, that's who you are. But because you are attached to yourself, thinking that you are the body and the mind, you are suffering in misery. You are living in misery, you're suffering in misery because you think that's what is you, who you are. Whatever is going on in your mind is who you are. Now who's watching the mind?
I don't think I'm suffering.
No, what I'm saying is,
anymore.
no, suffering means if you are getting tortured by the thought, which is unpleasant, that is kind of a suffering. I'm not meaning physical suffering. What I mean, and that will create physical suffering also if it continues. But what I mean, I'm telling you is that you are not the body and the mind, and for you to understand whether you are a body or the mind, I have a question. If I say, do you have a mind?
Yes. Yes.
What do we say? That we have a mind.
Yes.
Now who is saying that?
Sometimes I doubt it.
Okay. You are saying it. And who is you? You are separate from mind?
I accept my
Do you
mind.
say that I am the mind? Or
Yes.
do you say I have a mind?
I have a mind.
You don't say I am the mind.
No, I'm not. I don't
Okay. So you have a mind. Now who has the mind?
I do.
Who is that I?
Who's me?
Who is that I which has a mind?
Me.
That I is the spirit.
That's the I is the spirit, the soul, we name it as consciousness, the energy. That is separate from the mind. Okay? So you are not the mind. We have clarified that. Okay. You are the body?
Yes.
Are you the body?
Yes.
Yes.
You are?
I have a body. I have a body.
You have a body. You are not the body, right?
I have a body.
You have a
Yeah, I
body.
am not the body.
You are not the body, but you have a body.
Yes.
So you are not the body either, right? Because at the time of the death, what happens? Your spirit leaves the body, and the same body which was walking, talking a minute back, it's dead. It's declared dead. Dead means the spirit left the body, the energy left the body. So it's no longer able to walk and talk. So you are not the body, you are that spirit, that energy that was making this body work. Similarly, you are the energy that makes your mind work, which makes this mind work. So all these 5 bodies that I talk about, the 5 bodies are physical body that you see, eat, made of food. Second body, the breath body. Breath, breathing. Breath body. Breathing is also known as emotional body because your emotions are connected to your breath. Okay, so that's the second body. Third body being the mental body or the mind. Right? We all have a mind. We just analyzed it that we are not the mind, but we have a mind. Similarly, the fourth body is the intelligence body or intellect. We all have an intellect.
Yes.
What is an intellect? Intelligence body. How did that become an intelligence body? It's a part of your mind, but it is an intelligence. It's an intellect called intellect or intelligence body. Why? Because it has stored all your past memories, past psychic impressions, all your fears, phobias, likes, dislikes. Everything is stored in there. Information is all stored in that body, right? So that is a intellect body, which has all the information, and it helps to give information to the mind when the mind has to make a decision. And then, like for example, as I always give you, that you want to, the mind wants to eat ice cream, and then the intellect body will give you, you're allergic to chocolate, you can have a chocolate ice cream. So that's the information that was stored in the intellect body, which came up into the mind that don't eat chocolate ice cream, or you got sick last time, or whatever. So that's the, yes. So yes, you can have vanilla, but that's the information. So that's the intellect body, and then the fifth body is the spiritual body, which is again your voice of consciousness.
What's the next one?
Spiritual.
Oh, spiritual.
Which is your voice of consciousness, which is always guiding us in the right direction.
But
right?
they're all equal? One doesn't take precedence over another?
Yes, they do.
They do?
Yes. So the
Emotion.
the spiritual body creates the intellect body. Intellect body will have the mental. Mental will create the breath body, and the breath body will create the
It's like
physical.
a chain.
Yes, it's a chain.
You said the
So
rest body,
it-
right? Rest body?
Spiritual body.
And now you said another word.
Breath.
Or
Breath.
voice, breath.
Breath.
Yes.
Breathing.
So voice of your consciousness is the spiritual body. That's also called as the Anandamaya Kosh. That means it is the blissful body, and that is the body where you feel bliss. You can feel peace. You see the light of your own spirit. So when we are doing the meditation, so many of you do see the light, right? And that is because you go beyond these other four bodies and go into your blissful body, and that's where you get connected to your own spirit, your own soul. You see the light of your soul. That light is of the light of your own soul, your own spirit, because spirit is in the form of light. Light is the first manifestation of that God's energy, which is vibrating at the highest frequency. So if you want to see, analyze in the physical form, the first physical form of God or God's energy is light, white light. Okay? White light.
If I don't see the light, then what?
Doesn't matter, you will eventually. Yes. As soon as you cleanse all your bodies, start getting cleansed, you will see the layers of negativity have to be removed, and then you will come in touch with your own light. Okay, so that is the light of your own soul, and the bliss and the happiness and the peace that you feel and the love, that is all your own nature. Okay, so that is who we really are. So now if we want to be in that, that is our nature. But what are we doing? We are working, thinking that I am the mind and I am this body, and I am, through those I am making all the decisions. So as a result, that is fine, because in living in this world, in this universe, you want to have a experience with other souls, with other spirits, and you have come here to have the experience. Every soul has come here to have a physical experience and to grow spiritually, grow in their energy. Now if they want to do that, they have to use the mind, right? They have to use the physical body. It's like a vehicle. It's like you are an instrument through which you can have these experiences, different experiences in this universe. But this is not who really you are. You are that spirit, the soul, which is making all these 5 bodies work, because none of these 5 bodies have their own energy. You are that energy, and as soon as you disconnect yourself from those bodies, these bodies are just like dust.
The spirit is one of those bodies, though, correct? Or
What?
The spirit is one of those bodies, correct?
No.
It's not. The spirit is above those 5 bodies.
Yes, spirit is the energy which makes all these 5 bodies work. It's not part of the, but it is giving its reflection into these 5 bodies so that the 5 bodies can work. Okay. Now the spirit is the energy. Now the energy is, there's only one energy in the whole universe. Okay, there is only one energy in the whole universe. Whether you say that's God's energy or our energy, it's the same energy. It's not like her energy is different, my energy. Energies is the same. Only the bodies are all different. But all the 5 bodies use that energy. We all use that same one energy to have a different experience. So am I confusing you? So it's not like his spirit is separate and your spirit is separate. It's not like that. There is only one energy, one consciousness, and everybody's phone is using the same energy, right? One energy in the universe, and everybody's phone is working out of that energy. But since she's holding her phone and you're holding your phone, you say my phone is working, you say my phone is working, but the energy is the same which is being used. Did I make it? That's an example of making you understand that there is only one spirit, and that is God's spirit. We call it as God's spirit. There is no God. There is not a human being sitting up there. It's only one energy. We are that energy. And when we, why we are not able to experience ourselves as God? Why? Because we are carrying the baggage of these 5 bodies. God doesn't have these 5 bodies. Okay, He's vibrating without these 5 bodies at the highest vibrational frequency, full of peace, light, peace, knowledge. But since we have those 5 bodies, we are not able to vibrate at that frequency.
When we die, we lose the body, but we keep the 4 other things.
Yes.
Correct?
So what happens is when the death comes only of the physical body. Okay. So the physical body is made of 5 elements, which is of this universe, belongs to the universe. So the physical body stays here. Okay. So that's the one which we bury or cremate. But other 4 bodies, they are still vibrating. They have not gone and merged into its original form of mind, and so they are vibrating and they want to move on to the next body. So what do? They have 4 bodies. They use the energy, universal energy, to move on from one body to the next body.
So the physical body is dead.
Yes.
But the other 4 bodies.
Yes, they are moving on from one body to the other, to the next body, or to the heaven, or to the hell, or wherever you want to go. Your mind is the decisive power. Mind wants to. So it's basically mind's creation. Mind is creating all these things. Mind creates the bodies. The minds create everything. But once you are out of the mind, once you are in control of the mind, then you can use the mind as you perceive. Right now, mind is guiding you on the basis of its intellect body. It is guiding you as to what to go, where to go, how to behave. And because all that information that you have collected over so many lifespans, all is sitting in that intellect body, in the mind. So that is the one, mind is the one, along with the other 3 bodies. So that's the emotional body, mental body, intellect body, and spiritual body. They all combine together, and they travel from one body either to the next body, or to the heaven or hell, or wherever you want to go. Yes.
You know, you're the first person that I've ever heard. So I was raised Catholic. I'm an atheist. However, I do believe the law of physics, that energy can never be destroyed.
Or created.
And so my philosophy, and this is not correct for everybody, this is just mine, although you may agree with it, you may not agree with it, I do believe that when we die, the energy leaves our body. Because people say, well, if you're an atheist and you can't believe in a heaven, you don't believe. I said, no, but I do believe that and this is the first time I've ever heard anyone say about our energies leaving our body. And that's what, I mean, I don't know if it's true, I don't know if they're true with their God, I don't know if I'm,
but that's the science.
I hope I'm true.
This is all science.
But yeah, well, physics, well, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Physics energy is never destroyed. It can only be, take on a different form. So I'm actually...
So energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just exists. So we say God exists. So God is basically an energy. What is the word term God? God is the word which describes the functions of this energy. Okay, that's just a word. So G stands for generation. God generated everything, created everything, right? So G is for the generation, giving birth to everything, right? O is for organization. So who is organizing everything and making sure everything is running in an orderly manner? That energy. Or we say, in other words, if you talk in terms of the religion, is we say God is making sure everything is running in order in a organized manner, right? So that's O, organization in an orderly manner. Then D is for destroying, destruction of whatever is not needed. So the energy, or we say God destroys whatever is not needed, or that energy destroys whatever is not needed. So everything in this universe is always in a cyclical manner, in a cyclical motion. So it's generated, then it is, you could say, preserved, and then it grows, preserves and grows, and then it gets destroyed. Now this is the cycle, and in this cycle everything that exists in this universe is in that motion. Okay, it comes in, there's nothing in this universe that does not go through these three cycles. So this body, our body, which is also made of this universe, 5 elements of this universe, also has to go through. That's why when you were born like a child, your body was different, and as you grew, your body became different, and now as you are growing old also, it's getting different. It's changing constantly. Everything constantly is changing in this universe, because the universe is made of energy, and energy is created by vibrations. And everything is vibrating at a different frequency, and that is why everything is different from each other. And this is metaphysics.
Yes.
Okay? Yes. And also being proved by the science. So everything is, because vibrating at a different frequency, when it manifests in the form of energy, and that energy creates the matter, everything is also different from each other. Okay, so this is the basics of the spirituality. Basically understanding that we are that energy, we are that spirit or the soul or consciousness or chi or different names given by different human beings. But what does it matter? The name doesn't matter. Understanding of the concept matters. Okay, so now if you understand that we are that energy, we are the consciousness, and that consciousness is one. So basically, if you look at it from that point of view, when we start vibrating, when we get rid of all this baggage of these 5 bodies and start vibrating at the same frequency as God's energy, what will happen? We are the God ourselves. We will go and merge into that energy, and we will be the God ourselves. So we are the God, basically, you could say. But we are right now, because we have the baggage of these 5 energies, we are also creating. But what are we creating? We are generating and creating whatever is happening in our life. Whatever is happening in our life, whatever the experiences that you are going through in this earth, on this planet, at this point of time, has been created just by you. Okay? And similarly, you maintain it, and then ultimately it gets destroyed too. Yes?
Yeah, I want to say this goes back to the scientific, and you had mentioned Einstein.
Yes.
Steve reminded me of it, talking about the energy, and what you did say was kind of above my head.
So Einstein proved.
A little bit, I mean, the energy, or however you put it.
We all have energy.
But it combined with what you were saying.
So E is equal to mc square. So that's what the Einstein proved. E is equal to mc square, and which says that, he proved that everything is energy. The basis of everything is energy. Okay, and that is what it is, and we are that energy.
Madhu,
So we are not separate. Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you,
So how do we get separated? 1 minute. How do we get separated? Because we have separate minds. All the 4 bodies are separate from each other. They are vibrating at a different frequency, and that is why we are very unique and individual in our own way. Everybody. Okay? Because her mind is different from my mind, what I am carrying in my mind, because my experiences were different and my desires are different, and what I want to experience is different than hers. So that makes us individuals, makes us unique. But ultimately, if we take away those bodies, the energy is only one. There's only one energy. Her energy and my energy are not separate. Understand that point?
But won't you, how I hope it is that when I die, my energy will leave my body, but it'll be recognizable to my loved ones who have gone before me. Their energy will recognize my energy. And so while we will be, it's not like throwing water into a pool. You can't tell which molecule of water came from me. My energy will be recognized.
So you are again
by
confusing.
my loved one's energy.
1 second. You are again
Yes.
confusing. What happening? What I just told you. What travels is the 4 bodies. So your body is your intellect body, your mind, your emotional body, and the spiritual body. These 4 bodies travel. But the energy is the electricity which is in the air, right? That's just an example. Now there is only one electricity which is in the air. Every phone, that's another metaphor that I'm using. Every phone is using the same electricity to work. Even though everybody has its own individual phone, but they are all using one same electricity.
Yes.
So that electricity is who we are. So that is the energy that I'm talking about. That's the consciousness. There is only one consciousness, one energy, one spirit. But everybody has different bodies. So your 4 bodies are different than her 4 bodies. And so who's traveling? When the death of the physical body happens, the other 4 bodies travel. And they travel because they need energy to travel. They use the energy, the electricity, in other words, the electricity in the universe, or the energy of the universe, to move from one place to the other. So it is not the spirit that travels. Spirit is just energy which is everywhere. It's not just, it's only in that corner and not here. It's everywhere. It is just like electricity, it's everywhere. Okay? So it's not that you can say my energy or your energy. Energy is only one. Yes, my body and your body, that's separate. That's where your confusion was. So since you have a separate 4 bodies, those will travel, and of course your mind will recognize the mind of your ancestors, and they will recognize your mind, and because there are a lot of karmic obligations, karmic exchanges that are still open, and that this continues from one body to the other, and we always make decisions to come together, to have different experiences in this life, to grow together and understand this knowledge.
It's not only energy, then it's karma also.
Yes.
Karma.
So the karma is basically, again, karma of bodies. Okay? Yes. Electricity is just an electricity. Energy is energy. It has no function. It has nothing. It is just there, and anybody can use it. Okay? But whoever is using it, they are separate.
Again,
every phone is separate, but they are using one electricity.
As Steve said, how one energy will recognize another energy. You're saying it's by karma.
Yes. So, but that's the bodies. It's not the energy.
But if you're up there without a body, how does one energy, like I want to find my mother that died, and when I die, how am I going to...
So your mother also has a mind, no? She also traveled, she also had all those four bodies going.
But she no longer,
She may not be in a physical body, but she may be in an eternal body. And she'll be there, and you will be also in the eternal body, and you will meet there, and whatever, whichever way you guys decide to come back into the universe.
I'm going to meet her.
Wherever you want to meet her, your decision. Everything is our decision.
Yeah, what?
The body's down here. All the energy is the one that you're going to meet up there.
Right, but how do I distinguish her energy from my father?
Don't worry, it's the mind. The mind recognizes other minds.
Will the mind stay with you, my energy? Or the energy that leaves my body? Will the mind stay?
It's not the energy. Yes, the mind is... Other four bodies leave. Again, I'm trying to... I think you guys are getting confused. It is the four bodies that we have, except for the physical body. Those four bodies travel.
Is it what the soul is?
But they are traveling. For traveling, don't you need a fuel? If you want to go from one place to another, you need a fuel?
Yes.
Yes? If you want to go from one place to another, you need an energy, some kind of an energy, right? Whether it's petroleum energy or solar energy, you're using that energy. So that energy that I'm talking about is you. But the traveling, who is traveling? Those, the car or the plane, all your four bodies, they are using that energy, the consciousness, to travel. But when I say you are not those four bodies, we just proved it. You are not those four bodies. You are that energy which makes these four bodies travel from one place to the other. You are again confusing yourself that I am those four bodies. Did I get you confused again?
What were the bodies again?
Okay, so forget about it. If you guys can't understand it, you can think that I am that energy. Yes. Lillian, yes.
What were the four bodies again? The spirit?
The physical, the intellect,
Breath.
Physical, emotional, mental, intellect, and the spiritual. So the physical stays here, then the emotional body, your mental body, your intellect body, and your spiritual body will go with you, and will travel basically on you, or you can say using you, or your energy, or you could say that with you, you could say whichever way you understand it, whichever way it's easier for you to understand it, you are using that energy. Those four bodies are using you as an energy to travel from one place to the other body, or to go to heaven or hell, if you believe in it. But whatever is happening because of that one energy. Because that one energy can only make things work. And without that energy, nothing will work, has no energy of its own. So you are that one energy. So basically what I'm trying to say is that you are the God. Okay? You are the God without the five bodies. And when you have those five bodies attached to your soul or to your spirit, then you are the human being.
Well, that's why I have a hard time understanding, because I don't believe that we are gods. I believe there's a higher power, but I don't believe that I am.
Yes, so if you think that God is some human being or some human factor, but God doesn't have any. If you understand the scriptures, I don't know, did Jesus, or if you are Christians, and did Jesus ever say that God has a form?
It's a spirit.
It's a spirit, exactly. So spirit has no form.
But he had a form.
What kind of... Jesus had a form, but not the God.
No.
Yes. So God is a spirit. God is an energy. Right. So that's exactly what I'm saying. And I say that when you get rid of these five bodies, you are that energy. And in that way, you are the God. Because you are that energy. You understand? But first you have to get rid of these five bodies. So right now you're still... these five bodies are attached to you. So you are in this universe working as functioning as a human being. Okay? But once you are able to cleanse, purify yourself, raise your vibrational frequency, and that to the extent that total 100% purification with highest vibrational frequency, automatically it will, if you say that God is vibrating over here, at the 100% frequency, and you are vibrating over here. When you raise your vibrations, what will happen to the same level as the God's frequency? You will automatically merge into it. And when you merge into it, you become God yourself.
But then I want to get rid of it. I'm sorry, Steve.
No, I just out of curiosity, what happens, I forget what the girl's name was, she lived in New Jersey and she was brain dead for many years.
Yeah.
Tina Karen or something.
Karen Ann Quinlan.
Karen Ann Quinlan. Now, since the brain is for the four, other than the physical body, her brain was dead, but her body was still alive. What happened to those four bodies once her brain was dead, even though she lived for like 10 years or something like that?
Yes.
As brain dead.
Yes. So in the brain dead, what happens? Your conscious mind is sleeping, right? Dead.
Right.
Subconscious mind is there. And what is subconscious mind? The intellect body. That's the intellect body. But that's also not working at this point of time. So what is working? Emotional body is working, or the breath body is working because she's breathing. That's why she's alive, right? And the physical body is
She was
there.
breathing, or she kept alive on a machine.
It's the machine that's breathing.
You didn't have to keep her alive in the machine, because without the machine, maybe she would have left the body and gone on to the next. But whoever kept her alive for their own reasons, because maybe they were attached to that body and they wanted to keep her like that, it was their decision. But ultimately, in the brain dead situation, where none of your intellect body is not working, your mental body is not working, only your breath is working. Sometimes that's not working either. So why keep the physical body alive? So it was their decision to do that. But if the breath body is still working and she's still breathing on her own, and she's because then they say that she might come back, she might revive, right? So they keep it up on a hope. So then only the physical body and the breath body is working, but you are not declared dead. So that means even though the mind is dead, you are not dead. That also is a good example of showing that you are not the mind. Yeah? Because if you are the mind, with the mind dead, you should be dead too. But you are not dead. You are still breathing, you are still alive, physical body is still there. So that means you are not the mind. But it was their decision to keep her alive with the artificial.
She was on the machines,
yes.
And then they did take her off.
Yes, so if they were keeping her alive with the machines, it was just a money-making machine basically. Otherwise, there was no reason for her to be kept alive. And that's a cruel way of keeping anybody alive. Why not let the spirit move on and take a new body? Because the spirit has to take a new body, because the spirit has come here to have the experiences. And when it's not able to do that, why keep that spirit trapped into a body which is not functioning and where she cannot have any experience?
One of my relatives did it for a long time, kept her son alive.
For what?
On the machine.
Yes, so it is ignorance, basically. That is why people do it. And then medically, for medical people, it's the money-making thing.
I'm going
Yes.
to interrupt you here. What about these miraculous cases where people have been in a coma for years
They
and
come back. Yes.
So then you have that whole side of things that...
So if they're breathing on their own, as I said, then you can keep on hoping that it will come back. But if she's not even breathing on her own and you're keeping her alive with the artificial oxygen, you can do that forever, you know that. So it's up to you.
No,
But they're
Understand?
on the machine forever, and then they come back.
that's the thing too, that's what we're talking about. That there people have been in a coma or whatever, and they've come back. And they've come back.
But just tell me, every spirit has come here for an experience, for a purpose. Now there are 3 reasons why we take birth. Okay, there are 3 reasons why a spirit comes and takes birth. What are these 3 reasons? First reason is because of your karmic obligations. Last time you have did an action, and now the reaction has to come back. So you have to finish off those karmic obligations among each other, with all those souls and spirits that come as in your life as a family and friends, because they have karmic obligations and karmic cycles which are open with each other, and they have to come back and finish that off. Okay, so first is the karma that brings the soul, makes the soul having to take a body. Okay. Second reason for the soul to take a body is desires, unfulfilled desires. In the last life, it wanted to experience being an actress, and it did not get the opportunity because of the circumstances. It could not fulfill that desire. So that's an unfulfilled desire still in the mind. It's registered in the mind, and mind wants to experience that, to be how to be an actress. It wants to experience that, or a mountaineer, or whatever you want to. So it takes a body, it takes a family where it can easily access that, fulfill its desire. You know, it will take a family of people who are already actors and actresses, and then it will be easy for them to become an actor. Okay, so that's the second, desire. So first is karma, second is desire, and third is ignorance. This ignorance about ourselves as a spirit rather than body and mind. Till long we keep thinking that we are that body and the mind, we will keep on taking this birth, death and birth, death and birth. We will be in the cycle. The day we understand, the day we realize, the day we get the experience and the knowledge about us as a spirit, that is the day when you can make your own decisions and move on and say, okay, now I don't want to take this body, because there's no reason. Every knowledge is under my control. I have a full knowledge about myself, about my mind, about how the mind works, how the intellect body works, how even these experiences that we want to take, like the desires that I want to fulfill, eventually get over. You finish off those desires. Why? Because they are ultimately just the actions that you're doing. It is not. It is just something that is binding you into this world. Because for every experience that you want to have, you have to come to the universe, into this world, to have that experience. Okay, so you have to take a body to experience it. So for that, if you have no desires, then do you need to come back into the body?
No.
No. And ultimately the karmic cycles also finish off when you start vibrating at a higher frequency. That means the moment when we start getting rid of the negativity, we are removing all those karmic layers that are keeping us bound to this body. So meditation is the way of removing those layers of negativity. And there are different exercises, prayers, and every time we desire to raise our vibrations, desire to connect to the higher energy, that helps us to move, raise our vibrations. Going towards positivity rather than negativity will raise our vibrations. Yes.
If the doctor has to decide when it's time to let the person go.
No.
No.
It
No.
is for you to decide.
No, the doctor doesn't decide, you decide.
Everybody.
Yes, you
I'm
decide.
just saying that.
And if you cannot decide, that's why it's always good to write your living will. It's called living will. Living will is when you yourself have written while alive, while in your senses, that this is how you want to be treated if ever you are in the situation where you cannot make your own decisions.
Yeah.
So you create a living
That's
will
correct.
and you say how you want to be. Do you want to be on the artificial respirator, or do you want to go, immediately? And do you want to donate your organs? Do you want to help somebody by donating your organs, or do you want it to just let it burn or bury?
To step out of the
Yeah.
We could all end up like Catherine Ann Quinlan if we don't have an advance directive. Keeping us
Yes.
alive.
So it's always good. I have donated all my organs and my entire body. If I am not in this body, it's of no use. It's dust. So I have already written that whatever you can use to help others, please use it.
Yeah,
And the rest you can just burn it or whatever you want to do with it.
What was it was karma, desire, and you said there was a third one.
Ignorance.
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 Karma, desire, and ignorance?
Ignorance about yourself. You think, right now you think that you are the body and the mind. You don't even understand that you're not even that. You are the spirit. You are that soul, the spirit, the energy, the consciousness. And it is your journey to have, and you have come into this universe to have those experiences. So basically you could say that God, that energy that we call as God, that has come in different forms to have different experiences, to enjoy this universe in a different form and different manner, in different beautiful ways. But what have you done? You have come as a God, but you have filled yourself up and your 5 bodies with all the negativity, and as a result your vibrations are low. Whereas in the purity, when you were totally pure with no negativity in your bodies, you're vibrating at a higher frequency, highest frequency, full of peace, love, bliss, light, knowledge. And because of all these negativities, you have brought your vibrations down, and as a result you are not able to access and understand who you really are. And now the meditation is the way to remove those layers of negativity and start raising your vibrations. So it's very important that you do this. This is why meditation is something that you are doing yourself a favor, because this is your own purification happening, and you are doing it to understand really who you are, because you are basically understanding it. How many people do see the light? Where is the light coming from with your eyes closed inside your body?
Above.
I say it's a higher power.
It is your own soul's light. That's who you really are. That is the first physical manifestation of that energy, because energy has no form. So the first physical manifestation of the energy is, or the spirit or consciousness, is the white light. And that you see that all the time. A lot of people do see white light inside their in their meditation. They feel the vibrations. They see all the colors. What are the colors? Colors are when the Newton did the experiment, he put the white light through the spectrum and the rainbow colors came on the other side. So the combination of all the colors create white light. So white is not a color, it is the combination of all the colors.
So how we're going to talk about forget.
So that's gone.
Forget. That's
So so next time, we already did forgiveness, forget and forgiveness. We'll do
So
it.
what would you call this topic? What would you call
So
this
now
topic?
this topic will be spirituality and energy.
Yes,
Energy and spirituality.
How did we get here?
Okay. I don't know. But so any questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what we got here.
Yeah, we got it.
Unfulfilled desires will bring you back in the same.
Unfulfilled desire you would want to experience that, and you will say, okay, I want to go and experience myself as an actress. So now I want to go back to the world to experience yourself. You cannot be in a spirit form and say, okay, I'm an actress.
Okay, no.
You have no form and figure and no experience there. Yes.
It will sound funny. One time I had such a strong desire of eating mango, and I said to my girl, I said, no, I have to, and I was out of season, I had to get it. I don't want to come back and another life
Yes.
just to come and eat the mango.
Yes. Exactly. So the way not to get a new body
He
is,
doesn't want to be a mango.
so the way not to get acquire the new body is to start getting rid of all the desires in this body. So that means fulfill whatever you want to fulfill the desires in this body while living, and do not create new desires for yourself. When you have not too many desires left, and you're calm, you are starting to vibrate at a higher frequency with this knowledge that I'm giving you. You have the knowledge, and also you have your karmic obligations will start getting removed as the cleansing and the purification of your 5 bodies happen. The karma starts getting cleansed. So then,
in a lifetime, are we 100% fulfilled? Anybody? Do you think?
people do have the self-realization experiences. So we will talk about self-realization experiences the next time.
Good questions.
Yes. Self-realization. So what is self-realization? Experience is the experience of you understanding and seeing, and going through the experience of seeing yourself, knowing yourself as a spirit rather than this body and mind. So separating yourself from your body and mind and seeing that as a separate. And that is an experience that every soul, spirit goes through, and that's how it gets the knowledge. And that only happens when the total purification happens. So the first thing is to do the purification. And that is where the meditation comes in. And also, the self-realization also happens through the meditation.
Say that again, please. The last one you said?
Self-realization happens through the meditation only. So we can discuss that topic next time in a detailed manner. But any questions in this topic? Energy and the spiritual.
The only thing I had a hard time with Madhu was that we create certain things in our lives. I don't think that's 100% true. We don't create certain things in our lives. Things are done to us out of our...
Okay, so that's karma, and that's another topic. We will do that.